Hello everyone! Welcome back to Drawn by Annie channel, where I'm showcasing my art creation process as well as yapping about different topics. So grab your drinks and let's get started. Today I decided to work on a fun challenge for myself and draw something that Pinterest would decide for me. So I just opened my recommendation page and I saw this brooch with a nice pretty rock in it, and I decided I would give it a try. Honestly, it's a very rare occasion when I'm drawing something out of a reference completely. So this artwork is basically like still life studying like they do in traditional art schools. The only difference is that I'm drawing from the picture. So this is literally a brooch that looks like a ribbon but made out of golden metal. And I decided I would draw it with my acrylic paint markers and try and capture this metallic look with all the shininess and cell shading. When drawing with acrylic paint markers, I found myself a life hack that eases me the coloring process. So firstly, I'm filling in the color of the background, and then I can clearly see the silhouette of the item or a character that I'm going to color. And as I'm slowly working on the layers, it's a little bit easier for my chaotic brain to process the forms and shapes. So if you're someone like me with hyperactive mind that tends to have a lot of distractions going on, I suggest you try coloring it this way. Who knows, maybe it will be a little easier for you too. A little note on this, I wanted to make it a little bit more interesting by leaving some empty spots for the shiny stars on the background. I'm planning to fill them up with the shiny golden color marker, but I will see how it will look later on after I color the whole brooch. For the shaded parts of the brooch, I'm using slightly desaturated tint of the yellow color. It looks more like khaki or sandy color, and what I do is I immediately cover the shaded areas as well as some shaded areas on the light spot, so you can see that the shape of the ribbon is actually bent and some of the spots have shaded areas as well. And after that is done, I'm placing the main color, which is bright yellow, on the whole metal part thing. And after that is done, I'm placing some extra shading with another color of the yellow tint that is slightly more saturated and more pigmented and also darker than the ones that I've used before, just to give the whole drawing a little bit more contrast. And if there is something that I know about metal, it's very shiny. So in order to give the metal feeling, since we know this is not really a metal, we only can make the feeling that it's metal. So in order to do that, I have a very bright highlights made with white marker, and also I'm making the random blobs of green color because of the background. So we are imagining that this brooch is either attached to the green cloth or dress, or it's just laying on the table that is covered with such cloth. Either way, it's going to have reflections of the surroundings on themselves. So that's what the green blobs on the yellow parts are for. And of course, I'm giving some color to the rhinestones. I decided I would go with the turquoise color. Looks very pretty and noble to me. Don't ask me to explain how I'm coloring that one because I don't know. I'm just following the reference, honestly. The main idea is that I put the main color. There's also darker parts with the darker turquoise color, as well as applying highlights on top of the whole thing later on. And magic happens and it looks like it's a rhinestone. Something like that. And now I'm going to cover the spots that I left in the background for the stars. It looked to me that it will look very nice and pretty with those extra details on the background, so I just went with my gut, covered the white spots of the background, as well as added some extra stars and shininess. And afterwards, of course, it's the line art time. I made sure that everything is nice and dry, took my thick liner and started drawing. I'm just going over my own sketch lines really, and adding some line weights here and there, especially in the places where the ribbon bend is connecting, just so it looks like it has a bigger shadow there. Some extra lines on the rhinestone and a little bit thicker lines here and there. At the last minute, I felt like the urge of making the outline line with the white marker. I couldn't resist it, so I just went for it. And that's pretty much it for this brooch drawing. Let me know down in the comments what you think. If you like my work, you can support this channel by subscribing, leaving a like and a comment. Also, I have a bunch of other social media linked down in the description. Thank you all very much for sticking around my channel. I'm wishing you a fantastic day, a happy, wealthy and healthy life, and hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye!